is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Welcome to the podcast, guys. Let's talk about commute to work, Fitz, because one Sydney train traveller, commuter, furious at the service. Train failed, couldn't get a bus, pay for an Uber, furious. You there, Fitz? Fitz, you there? What do you think about that commuter? Cool. Angry. Yeah. I promise you, when the podcast kicks into gear, he will kick into gear. He's like an old steam engine. Yes. It takes a long time to work up. Now he's coming up to the microphone. You can do this. I think I can.
What is it again? What are we doing?
All right. Big podcast coming up on the Fitzy and Whipper Show.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Can we talk about Fast and the Furious?
I've never seen any of them.
Oh, look, it's a big franchise.
Are they good?
We know that. Do you want to go through the Fast and the Furious movies? So you got the Fast and the Furious #1, Too Fast, Too Furious, the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious. Just took the V out at the start there.
Sure.
Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6,
Shorten it.
Furious 7. The Fate of the Furious.
Okay.
Not bad.
Mixed it up.
F9, The Fast Saga, and Fast X. And Vin Diesel has just announced that there will be Fast and the Furious 11.
11? I would assume they're all the same, aren't they? I mean, if you're doing one Fast and the Furious and then you're saying Tokyo Drift, well, you've just moved it to Japan.
How much more drifting can you do? How many more burnouts can you do, mate?
Gee, I wonder how he's going to take that corner. Oh, he drifted.
So he has said that the original characters will be coming back. His co-stars Tyrese Gibson, Cody Walker, but they were at a Fuel Fest, a car enthusiast event over the weekend, and Vin Diesel got up in front of the crowd and he said, I'll only do this. I'm going to tell you, this is the last of the Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious 11 is coming out April 2027. But he said, I told the directors I won't do it unless you do one thing.
What is it?
I need to reunite Dom and Brian O'Connor. So that's Vin Diesel's character and Paul Walker's character. CGI Paul Walker
CGI
will
Paul
be
Walker.
back. Yeah. It's been done, hasn't it? Hasn't it been done?
Oh, do you know what? People loved Paul Walker. He died in a car accident. That's ironic in itself.
It is.
And you know what? Vin Diesel walked Paul Walker's daughter down the aisle when she got married in real life. Yeah. That wasn't in Tokyo Drift. Isn't that unbelievable?
You know, he died mid-filming, whichever was the last one he did, and they got his brothers to stand in for him, and then they CGI'd his face. So they've already done a bit of CGI.
Yeah.
So maybe they get the brothers back in.
Who's the other Walker in it?
No, Cody Walker.
Cody Walker.
Yeah.
Is he related to Paul?
Gosh, no, I don't
Do you know what? It would sell, mate. If you could bring them back together and they say, Paul Walker CGI'd into the film and he's now part of it again, you drag them in. Doesn't matter that it's 11.
Is it a John Farnham sort of? This is
John's
the last.
not dead.
This is the last one, guys.
He's not
and then he
dead.
tours one more time, and then you come back for Fast and the Furious 12 or 13. This is 11. It's just too many. I mean, what more can you do in a car?
Not a lot.
I mean, how are these guys? How is Vin Diesel's character still alive? The amount of car crashes he's got over and survived.
Oh, mate, not to mention the tolls. Cost a fortune.
Cost an absolute fortune.
Cost a fortune. My God, how do they still have any points to their names?
They'd struggle in Sydney, wouldn't
they
they?
would.
The
They'd be
tolls are
screwed.
about
Oh,
to go
not
up
on
again
Minzy's
with Minzy.
$60 toll cap.
No, the cap would be blown, mate.
Doing great things for the Northwest.
That's
We're
not
still
true.
paying for the Harbour Bridge.
You know what I
So
mean?
true.
I
They
know.
paid it off
Tom.
Hey,
easier.
when are they going to build the fast train to Melbourne?
Hey, I don't want to get all political on you, but how stuffed is our government?
Oh, well said, mate. The economy is ruined.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about our trains, Ryan James. Can we play the audio of the girl we fell in love with, who is the driver on the train?
It's on the train, it makes me sick, and I like money and I like to stay at work, so please don't smoke on my train, yeah? Drinking I'm a little bit more lax with because I figure you guys are going out to a concert, but no smoking or vaping! Next up, Olympic Park.
Yeah, good on her.
No smoking or vaping!
No smoking or vaping!
Next stop, Olympic Park. This commuter is absolutely furious. Monique has come out and said, there's not enough trains. Mr. Minns, we have a problem. There is simply not enough trains. Once a month, I get left at the station because the train won't go any further and that refuses to go to my destination. Then we have to get out, go back the way we came to get to another station and jump on another train.
Well, don't you get off on the station before to then jump on another train? You don't have to go all the way to the end and then go back.
Well, she said that other staff members, passengers should I say, that were on another platform, they were going into Central Station where they then had to try and get another train that was going at a different time.
Yeah.
So quite often she'll get on the train to go somewhere. It won't go to her destination. So if you can imagine, it stops short of getting to, say, Campbelltown where she might want to go.
Yeah.
So the train says that's the end of the line and doesn't go back to where she's going, to where she wants to go. So she then takes it all the way back, hoping to get another train that goes further.
What are you talking about?
She ended up carpooling to get home in an Uber.
You get a bus. You get up usually.
Commuter said there were no bus replacements.
Oh, come on.
We had to run to a platform, we missed it, and then everything else was cancelled after that.
I mean,
no other option to get home. She booked an Uber, which was cancelled twice. She's
now
not
that
having
we've
a
got
good
the
night.
metro, I think we're pretty lucky here in Sydney, aren't we?
Well, you would have thought so.
I mean, you can get to, on public transport, you can get to wherever you want. Yeah, I mean, if you do the hard yards, I mean, you can jump on trains and
Well, you would
buses
have thought
and
so.
get to anywhere.
She went on to say, on another occasion, I ended up in a car park and I got a lift from a couple who were just on their way home. Monique, I think, just wants to meet people after a Uber pool and now just getting a lift from a couple in the car park. Other social media users shared more stories about frustration, with one Penrith commuter saying it took them 3.5 hours to get home.
Oh, look, I think our system's pretty good here.
Well, I mean, you would have thought so, wouldn't you? Just on a side note, is there anything more confusing or frustrating when your Uber Eats doesn't arrive?
Oh, no.
Like Uber Eats.
This is a man who doesn't catch public transport at all, and now he's complaining about Uber Eats.
We got the train to the Royal Show, mate, and I saw it for the first time, and it was amazing. It was a wonderful service, so I can't relate to this commuter. But Saturday night, when I was waiting on my Japanese from Sushi Den, right, and it said that he's on a bike. One, I'm thinking my food's going to be cold. He's on a bike and then he's 3 minutes. And then, like the Titanic, he disappears. He's gone.
Yeah.
So where's the food? Where's the rider? Yeah. You call the restaurant, they can't do anything. So you have to rebook your meal.
This is unbelievable.
This is what people are going through. And I tell this story because other people are going through this. I had to rebook my meal at Sushi Den. And then, right, I have to say to the family, guys, dinner's going to be late. I know you're hungry.
Have you got never-ending story
I walk outside my house. I get in my car, I drive to the restaurant. This is what people used to do.
Well, this is what you can do as well, and it saves you a bit of money as well.
I took the car to pick up the food, ran in, explained the situation, got the order, and came back and fed the family. So they went to bed full and warm.
It's amazing.
Longest story ever.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Paul McCartney was at Glastonbury.
Was he?
Yeah, he was side stage for Gracie Abrams and also Inhaler, a band called Inhaler. Imagine looking up. There was a moment where Gracie Abrams looked up and saw Paul McCartney and Charlie XCX and freaked out. She was like, oh my God, Paul McCartney's watching me. Does that put you off?
Yeah, it does. It's always been a dream of mine to shake the hand of a Beatle. And not your Christmas or stink that you find in your backyard.
Yeah, well, you've only got 2 left.
A real Beatle.
Ringo you could probably get to. I don't think you get to McCartney.
Ringo's still alive?
Yeah, Ringo's still alive.
Is he still on the Isle of Sodor?
Let's talk about the huge hit Dance the Night by Dua Lipa 2023. This was obviously for the hit movie Barbie. How big that movie was unbelievable. I had no idea that Mark Ronson was the one that did the soundtrack.
Yeah, right.
So is he not one of the coolest blokes that we've interviewed on this show?
Yeah, we've had him in here a couple of times. Was the song
He did a Red Room for us, remember?
That's right.
At the Star.
Yeah, he had the song about the bike. Gonna ride my Gonna ride my bike until I get home.
Yeah. Well done, mate. Well,
Thanks,
that's not
buddy.
the song we're focusing on. We're doing Dua Lipa's Song to Be. Okay.
Was it written for the movie?
It was written for the movie. Okay, so this is Greta Gerwig. We know how big this movie was. It took over $1 billion at the box office. This is Mark Ronson talking about what Greta Gerwig wanted for the soundtrack.
So Greta said she wanted a big disco number that was going to speak for Barbie's best day ever. So I had an idea that it was going to be something up-tempo, but that was really it. And, you know, after 3 days, I tried a couple of different ideas, and I didn't think I had anything that was perfect yet. And then they were like, well, can you just send us anything? Well, I was like, what do you mean anything? Well, I don't know, just like a click track. So I finally actually got a track that I really felt good about, and I sent it in. And that was the instrumental, the very raw version of what became Dance the Night.
How do you just put something like that together? So this is Ronson just sitting in his studio, and he has to get something to Greta Gerwig very quickly.
With those chords. And then I came up with this string line.
How do you come up with that?
Awesome.
The chords and these French producers that I work quite a bit with, the Picard brothers, they take like old samples, and then whatever I played in the chords, they just change the samples to fix what I've done. So by taking this weird string sample that they had, they made this weird like that you hear. So I had the melody, but under it there's this sort of murky chord movement happening.
It's unbelievable. So he's got that. Then he's thinking to himself, who's the artist that can sing on this track? And he goes, Dua Lipa.
Has to be.
Right, so this is Dua Lipa talking about how does Mark Ronson get in contact with Dua Lipa? You would think through record companies and stuff like that. No, it wasn't.
I just got a DM on Instagram from Mark. He basically just reached out and was like, I'm working on this film with Greta. There's this big dance number, and I would love you to write it with me. I was so intrigued at what Barbie was going to be, what was it about. The next opening of dates that I had, I flew to New York. We were also saying, we were like, oh, maybe we'll work a little bit on my album and then a little bit on Barbie, but Barbie just completely took over our life. We were completely Barbified. There was Barbie dolls everywhere here. We were just putting Post-it notes everywhere, trying to brainstorm what Dance the Night was going to be.
So then they watch Margot Robbie in that dance scene in the movie. So Ronson's trying to get ideas out of Dua Lipa of, where's this song going to go? And they're watching Margot dancing in that one iconic scene.
So we were watching it, and then I just felt really compelled to be able to have the lyrics really merge with the dancing and what was happening in the scene as well. So we really fine-tuned it every little moment. It's also a moment where it goes, turn the music up, and they're putting their hands up.
So they're actually watching the movements, and that's how they're putting the lyrics together.
The whole thing is brilliant, isn't it?
And then Ronson talks about Dua Lipa and how you got to listen to how amazing her voice is, but then she comes in with all these extra bits.
And then Dua laid all these backgrounds under it that are sort of whisper vocals, right?
Baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride?
And Tommy, you all right? As a huge Dua Lipa fan.
Oh, wow. What a superstar.
Jeez.
Two superstars.
Dua Lipa, Dance the Night.
What a song.
Yeah, what a great song. Ronson, Dua
Love
Lipa.
that.
You learn something new every day. That's Song to Be.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast. Fitzy, Whipper and Kate Ritchie's Singles Party.
Jackson, Sydney's ultimate super yacht for exclusive events, parties, and private charters on the world's best harbour.
You know what I was thinking this morning, Fitz? I remember going camping, and they said to us, if anybody gets hypothermia, here's how we save their lives. You strip down to your underwear, and 2 other people get in a sleeping bag with them. Now,
Right.
if that was to happen on the Jackson tonight,
What if you don't have a sleeping
at
bag?
our singles party, I would suggest we all strip to our underwear and save each other with our body heat.
We could do the love sack. That's a game that singles do.
Oh, how do you play that?
Well, that's where you've actually got to get out of a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
You put 2 people that don't know each other into a sleeping bag, and
Right.
they've got to get out of it.
And what does legal have to say about that? Tommy, what
Hilarious.
about the orange part, when you pass the orange from neck to neck?
Well, firstly, you're married, you're a host, you're not a participant in the singles party, and secondly, it's for finding love. So it's not meant to be all touchy-feely
but
straight up.
You're putting on your good undies tonight, aren't you?
Well, you've still got an opportunity to come along if you want to register on the Nova Player app. If you've got a jet ski, give us a call and we'll meet you out on the harbour. Tom in Bondi. Good morning, Tommy.
How are we, Shaggers? What's going on?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
We know what Tommy's on the boat for tonight. How old are you, Tom?
23, mate. 23.
23. And now you're looking for serious love, though, aren't you, Tommy?
Oh, I mean, look, I'll be honest. I'm actually starting to wonder if I'm even capable of loving, but I think if I'm going to find her, she's going to be on the Jackson.
Well, you never know. You never ever know.
What's the longest relationship you've had, Tom?
Never had an anniversary.
You've never had an anniversary. Oh, so you've never lasted a year, Tommy. You're 23, so I understand you're still young, and I understand that. But there's got to be a moment where have you got mates around you that are falling in love, and you're thinking to yourself, I'd love to do that at some stage?
Yeah. Oh, mate. At some stage, yeah. But I mean, if I'm going to be 23 and smitten, I don't know if that's going to go down. But
Okay, Tommy. I tell you what, we're going to
it'd be good though.
We're going to send you into MJ Bail. You can spend $300 there, mate. Get yourself a new jacket or something. We'll see you tonight.
Does he not typify Bondi? Like,
my
it's
God.
just like
Who wants to meet Tommy tonight?
one man. We need entertainment tonight, and a very good mate of the show. And when we have events like this, he just gets everybody going. It's the magnificent Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, hello!
Boys, how are you?
Magic Mike, you put on one hell of a show at our last singles party. You recently got married. That means you're not up for grabs. But I would say that magic helps people find love. Would you agree?
I would agree. And yeah, you did mention the marriage. Thank you so much. I'd use magic to find my girl. So I'm sort of worried about Tommy. He said he doesn't know if he wants to be smitten. He's got to stay away from me then, 'cause my magic.
He's
All
a classic. He's a classic Bondi boy, Mike. Is there a love trick that you do with the cards, with the 7 of hearts or something like that, Mike, that you can do for us tonight?
There's a few that are going to get maybe a little schmooch. You have to wait and see. But yeah, there's going to be a few tricks that are going to bring people closer together, memorable stuff.
Well, I think the biggest magical trick you could do tonight is getting us on and off the boat, Mike, because the storm is going to be out of control.
I'm going to bring a sleeping bag as well. I heard that little game. So,
Yep, that's a great idea. Mike, you've done some of the biggest parties around town. Like, if
your birthday you're talking about?
My birthday. Okay, but then you went from...
Did he pay you, Mike? Did you invoice him?
I forgot about this script. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, your birthday. Keep going.
Just stick to the script. You went from my birthday to a New Year's Eve party with Keith and Nicole, right?
That's right.
So big names.
Did you get Keith and Nicole together? That's an amazing...
Yeah, that's it.
Through a card trick.
Sorry, Tom Cruise. That was all me.
So, Mike, look, if there's no love found, that means your magic is bad, because tonight we need you, buddy. We need you to put on a good show, okay?
I'm willing to put that title on the line. If it doesn't work, it's on me.
Yeah,
that's it. That's guaranteed.
Okay, well, Mike, we'll see you there tonight, mate. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. See you, boys. See you soon.
Can't wait, mate.
If you can get out of your area. There's flash flooding everywhere at the moment.
That's okay, Mike. See you tonight, big guy.
See you tonight, boys. Bye.
See you, mate. Tommy, let's talk about our slow dance.
Oh, yes. Stephen Sanchez.
Love. We saw him perform this live in Nova's Red Room. We're going to play it tonight for our slow dance. There will be a stage in the night where we'll say, find somebody, hold their hand, and let's embrace for 3.5 minutes of Stephen Sanchez.
Now, tell me,
the old Sanchez.
I can't find my black shoes.
Oh, no.
What do you mean?
So, do you mind if I just wear a pair of Adidas Sambas tonight?
Cool.
That's all I've got.
No,
Is
true
it?
to form.
I'm not joking.
Mate, it's 10 degrees outside. You're wearing Adidas shorts.
And the dress code is cocktail.
Yeah, you turned up to a black tie and a short sleeve shirt last time. I'm not going to be surprised by anything you
Okay.
wear.
Yeah.
Look, let's just get onto the boat.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you there. When your last minute invites to our singles party,
Registered an overplayer.
Yeah. Might have a couple up our
All right,
sleeve for you.
love it. Get involved, guys. Not too late.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
This is exciting. 1st of July today. It's Dry July. And I didn't know this, but this man helped kick off Dry July. It's our good friend Adam Spencer.
G'day, Spence.
Hey, happy July 1st. Always a big day on my calendar. I haven't had a drink since
What was it?
11:59 last night.
Hey. Spence, we've spoken about this before, but when Dry July started, numbers were small.
Yeah, I was hosting a radio show and we'd done a segment on the merits of giving up alcohol for a short period of time, and this text message popped up on the screen as the show finished. Me and a couple of mates are going to have a Dry July to raise money for Prince of Wales Hospital. If that had arrived 2 minutes earlier, I would have just read it on air.
Yeah.
If it arrived a minute later, I would have missed it. But, content. So we rang the guy back the next day. He'd had a minor cancer scare.
Yeah.
Him and some mates wanted to raise some money. People just start ringing in going, I'll sponsor.
Awesome.
Other people going, I'll give it up for a month. Yeah.
Great.
And the guy who had the cancer scare was a web designer.
Wow.
So we posted up
Meant to
this
be.
very 2008 website. Instead of 3 guys raising $3,000, 1,000 people raised $257,000.
Unbelievable.
As the woman from Prince of Wales said to us on the day, it's going to be a fucking nice television.
Wow.
And Dry July was born.
Hey, how many years ago was that?
That was in 2008, so I'm starting my 18th campaign today.
So, and how much money have you raised, Spence?
As we kicked off this year's campaign, we were sitting in total on $97.5 million.
Mate, that is an unbelievable story.
Sometime in the next week, someone's going to donate our 100 millionth dollar for adult cancer
We
services
need to play
around
Paul
Australia.
Kelly's From Little Things, Big Things, guy.
Oh, my
because
God.
that's well done, mate. It's you must be very proud of it to see how big. And you know what? It's part of our vernacular now in Australia.
Dry July.
Everyone knows about Dry July.
I remember the first time I was in a queue at Woolies and I heard the woman in front of me say to a friend, I might have a Dry July just this year. And I thought, wow, it's become part of the lexicon. Some people find it easy, some find it hard. I've never met anyone who's done it who says, I wish I hadn't given it a crack.
Yeah.
And while there's the personal benefit, month off the sauce, reset the alarm a bit, that sort of stuff. But also, you're raising money for Aussies on the cancer journey.
And I know how much you love the sauce. I've seen you at music festivals before, Spence.
Absolute animal, Spence.
Yeah, I'm a human meat pie. Just cover me in sauce. But the thing is, you then go about things you normally do, and you do them completely sober. It turns out, you go and watch your favourite footy team when you're completely sober. It turns out it's a really hard game to umpire.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying their hardest, and you lost because you weren't good enough.
Isn't it weird, isn't it? What? So you left. What? You left with a reality check.
But and the thing is, people say, "What? Oh, but I'd love to, but my brother's getting married or whatever." You can buy a day off.
That's right.
The golden ticket. Someone can sponsor you a night off. There are a small number of people who every year on July 1st just buy themselves 31 golden tickets, donate $775 to themselves, and go about their own business. We don't encourage it.
Yeah,
but it can be done.
We will accept your money.
Well
Awesome.
done.
Just awesome.
Actually, you were hooked up the other day to a lot of cables at the hospital. Are you all right, Spence? What was going on
What
there?
were you doing? Bit of a checkup?
No, I just went in to have a little bit of a heart check. I'm in my 50s now, and I just went and got all the numbers. They had a good look, better than I was a couple of years
Good
ago.
man,
yeah,
Spence.
when guys get to 50, we're
Better than you were.
Yeah. It's a secret, mate. Really let yourself go. Like, I look better now than I did when I was 20 because I was almost dead when I was in my mid-20s.
Okay.
Go out hard early, ease it up, and people go, wow, you look so much better than when you were a walking corpse a few years ago. Yeah, lost a few
Well
kilos,
done,
bit of
mate.
exercise. Mate, I'll lose 4 or 5 across July. From
That's
just
fantastic.
easing up on the
Great
sauce,
effort.
not
Yep.
making those terrible food decisions you sometimes make of,
Especially the next day.
I could do a third kebab.
Oh, my God. I don't care. I'll just keep eating till I feel better.
So, Spence, how do we get involved here? Like, even if we're not participating, how can we donate and get involved with Dry July?
Well, first of all, unless you were on the cans until after midnight a few hours ago,
Sure.
you can go to dryjuly.com right now. In fact, we'll wave you through. Go to dryjuly.com if you want to join us. More importantly, if you know someone else who's doing it, they'll have nominated a cancer service around Australia that means something to them. the place where Mum went, or somewhere where a friend of theirs works. Hop on board and just throw a few fully tax-deductible dollars at them. Kick off the financial new year with a donation, and you might be the person who pushes us over that 100 million.
How many Aussies have participated?
Across the whole journey, adding up all of it, 377,000.
What percentage is that of our population?
Oh, well, you see, what you do is put the 377,000 over 28 million. Let's adjust that as rough line. I'd say about 11%.
Wow.
Well done,
Okay,
Spence,
there it is. We got some maths. Thank you for the numbers, Adam Spencer.
Absolute pleasure, boys. DryJuly.com.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Got an update for you on a guy by the name of James Howells, Fitz. We've spoken about James a couple of times on this show and his sad story. It's now being turned into a documentary. He's the man that accidentally threw out his hard drive containing 8,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, did he find... that's right. It had his passcode on there for the Bitcoin, didn't it?
threw it into landfill.
Did we tried to get him on, didn't we? Did we speak to him?
He was just crying the whole time. Legal battles, high-tech plans, and a lost fortune buried under tons of waste. He wanted to buy the tip. This guy lives in Newport in the US, and he wanted to buy the actual tip to say, whatever I have to do, I will do to find this.
So what does it add up to?
8,000 Bitcoin. Currently today, Bitcoin's at 163,000 Australian.
Yep.
Is worth 1.3 billion.
Oh, dude. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. If you buy the tip, you're not guaranteed of finding it, are you?
No.
So then you've got to outlay...
But if you went
You've got to outlay a lot of money for the tip, hoping that you find your passcode.
Lot of money in Newport, right? Lot of old people.
Yeah.
If you go to somebody and say, hey, that tip, there's a hard drive there, it's worth $1.3 billion. If you go and buy that tip, you might have to shell out 20 mil.
What is a Bitcoin password? It's different, isn't it? It's all over the shop, isn't it? Right.
Depends. You might
because it's not just your. It's not.
Could be cold storage.
It's not password $10, is it?
It depends. Whatever. Like if you have it on an exchange, it could be. Like if you bought Bitcoin through Coinbase or CoinSpot or one of those.
Yeah.
Then you just have a normal password that gets you into a website.
So, but no,
But he's obviously got this on a hard drive with cold storage.
Right.
So he's got a password that sits separately.
Yeah. Do I have any cold storage?
I don't know.
I
do
don't
you?
know.
You got a fridge at home?
I've got some stuff on there that's quite hot at the moment.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest with you.
different. That's completely different. So he's now decided to give up. He's going to end the fight. He's going to say, I'm going to let that 1.3 billion go, and I will let the rest of my life carry on. And if I find a fortune in the future, well, so be it.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch the doco.
Someone else might come across 8,000 Bitcoin. It's not physical, is it? It's not.
Yeah, but you know
it's
what?
Still weird. I'm still trying to work it out.
At some stage, someone's going to be in the tip. They'll be just dropping off stuff on hard rubbish. No one picked it up. And they'll look over and they'll see a hard drive and they go, I wonder what's on that.
Tommy, being a tip rat,
do you often see hard drives when
you'd be nibbling away on
when you're
stuff
picking
here and
through?
there? But how big is the area around a tip? Like it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and
how far down does it go?
It's very deep, and you've got to fend off the bulldozers and the bin chickens.
We used to go to the tip when we were younger. That was
to the tip.
That was a day out for the family, going to the tip, and you could take home whatever. You get a bag, and you could take home whatever you found.
You know what? I reckon this guy should employ.
And that's how we found Tom as our executive producer.
Thanks for giving me a wash.
Employs many bin chicken. Can you train a bin chicken to look for a hard drive?
Yeah.
You could take a plane full of bin chickens.
I don't think
over
so.
to the US.
Just
get them to pick through the rubbish till they found the hard drive.
Yeah, instead of going for chips, find me a microchip, if you know what I mean.
That's not bad.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What have you been impaled by? Because I'm coming up with a few ideas just looking at Whip at the moment.
What do you
This
mean?
unbelievable story happened overnight in New Jersey.
Now to a frightening situation and what appears to be a freak accident at the Jersey Shore this morning. A lifeguard getting ready to watch over the waves is instead taken to the hospital after she was impaled by her own umbrella.
Really?
It was a freak thing. She was putting it in. The gust caught it, pulled it up. When she grabbed it, she was off balance. She was at the top step of the bench, so she fell backwards off the bench and the umbrella with her. When she came down, she landed on her arm. About a 1 inch in diameter aluminium umbrella pole went into her left armpit and came out in her back, right near the scapula.
No!
My gosh. She got impaled by her own umbrella. 13/24/10. What have you been impaled by?
That's a bad day. Did you see the guy about a month ago? He tried to break into the Colosseum. And in the old arches of the Colosseum, they have steel fence that's in place with quite sharp tops. Anyway, he fell trying to get through. It went through his leg and he hung there for over an hour.
Well, that's the big one. Our neighbours next to us have put up this fence that is very sharp.
Yeah, this guy...
And a lady walked past the other day and said they've got a similar fence at the zoo.
Yep.
And they said that the kids try to jump into the zoo and they get impaled on the fence.
Man, this guy hung there from his thigh by an hour. He'd blacked out because of the pain. Man.
Michael's given us a call from Lewisham. What was the impale fail, Michael?
It's a simple one, but a painful one. Sitting up on a whole stack of timbers in a mate's garage. Everyone said, let's go. I jumped down and landed on a paling which had 4 nails on the end, and they went right through my foot, but in the fleshy part. So no bone trouble, but I looked like I was just a bad man skier.
Oh, Mick. And then you got to get the tetanus shot as well because it's a nail.
Oh, that is a horrible feeling.
It's worse than a nail.
Oh, every now and then you'll see some sort of story similar to the one at the Colosseum where it'll be a fence. You're right, Fitz. It's a group of kids jumping a fence and all of a sudden a bit of clothing gets caught and they're pulled back and bang.
With the timber as
Stakes
well,
are high.
huge splinters. You can get huge splinters that go through you as well.
Do you remember we were filming a commercial for McDonald's? Do you remember that?
What was that one?
And I didn't realise that there was a long toothpick in the hamburger, and I bit into it. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
But I think we were filming, and it's either gone into my mouth or it got pushed up through the burger into my nose. And because of filming, I was just doing it. I'm loving it. Yum.
Well, they had the toothpick in there to keep the burger together.
Yeah, so the burger looked perfect for the ad.
Yeah.
And then I've bitten into it, not knowing, and I've just... Similar to when we made the cake for Ed Sheeran.
We nearly impaled Ed Sheeran.
But
and there was a wire. There was a wire that went through the cake. That was disgusting.
And Ed bit his own nose off. And the wire went into his mouth, and then the light smashed on his head. Remember that?
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about this one. There's a guy by the name of Dr. Richard Lacey. Dr. Richard Lacey is in the UK. Guess what? He's 70 years old. He just got busted drink driving, Fitz. Now, what's interesting about this is he was the man that invented the breathalyzer. Oh, yeah, it's ironic, mate. Isn't it ironic? Imagine how excited he was, though, when he got pulled over. He go, oh, look at that the technology. I remember when I wrote the code for this, and we designed the software around this.
Yeah.
And the cop went, mate, we can smell the vodka on your breath. Breathe into your own tool and tell us whether you've broken the law or not. Richard, gone. See you later. See you later, mate.
See you later.
See you later. That's not bad. See you later.
Mater from Cars, isn't it? It's a character in Cars.
A little bit like the Segway guy. What was his name? And he invented the Segway. Next thing you know, he's gone straight off a cliff on his Segway.
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, he's not. His own invention has taken his life. That's unbelievably ironic.
Yeah.
Got anything that says, isn't it unbelievably ironic? No.
Not on me, but you're doing the break, so kind of ironic that we weren't prepped.
Just irony is something that'll tap you on the shoulder.
When he starts the break and he repeats the name of the guy who invented the breathalyzer, Dr. Richard Lacey. Dr. Richard Lacey?
Is that ironic? What's wrong with me repeating the name? How about this? I went to the Hunter Valley with me missus, right? and we stayed at Chateau Elaine. Lovely setup there. Huge development.
Chateau Elaine.
Is that what it's called, Tommy?
I think it's Chateau Alarm.
Same Anyway.
Same chateau.
Same chateau, yeah. Chateau over the floor.
Okay. Don't chateau yourself with the break.
So the guy who built Chateau Elaine...
Chateau Alarm.
Alarm, sorry, mate. Sorry. Doesn't matter, it's a chateau. There are many different, little houses chateaus on a golf course. Massive setup, cost a fortune. The guy's American, got all his money because he invented the nicotine patch. He was a heavy smoker and wanted to stop, and he was a scientist, so he invented the nicotine patch. He's allergic to it.
Oh, you can't use it.
How about this?
Oh, no.
In WA, there's a guy. He owns Voyager Estate. Massive winery.
Yeah.
Doesn't drink because his body rejects alcohol. Dr. Richard Lacey.
Are we going for a world record here? How many more have you got?
If you've got one of these stories where it's just unbelievably ironic, where you go, you're kidding me. Does that really happen? You got one, have you, Jess?
No, I was just thinking that'll be a nice change from unbelievably moronic, which is what this break has been.
Okay. What a pity. What a lack of support for what is...
Ash loved it. Ash
four great stories that I've told.
Moronic.
What, have you got one, Ash?
It's very good.
You got an
No,
ironic
I just
story.
love Jess's line. I thought that was great.
Victoria's in Bowral. What's ironic, Victoria?
So my family owns a bakery, but I'm gluten intolerant, so I can't eat anything.
See what I mean?
So what are they, as a family who owns a bakery, do you just get leftovers at the end of the day, or the family does, Victoria?
So it's more like we're more in a manufacturing, bigger size. It's
Yep.
yeah, we do. If we want, we can always take stuff home, but we end up not. We just buy it at the shop.
No, you can't.
You good for business. Except not for you, not for your system in any way. Oh, Victoria. How frustrating is that? Imagine if you own a chocolate factory, but you're allergic to...
It's being born into a bakery or a brewery.
Oh, like Cooper's Brewery.
No, isn't it ironic that he's starting to lose the plot at the end of the show?
Ironic that he works in radio.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.